Chickens. Where you at?
Huge shout out to all of the Adventurers Guild members here on YouTube and all of the supporters from Patreon for their dedicated support of keeping this channel always on the rise. What's up, everybody? We're here. It's time for some EverQuest 2. I'm running on borrowed time today. Just got done with a quick lunch, cup of coffee. Got just finished the photo shoot for the cats. Start looking for adoption homes. We're gonna play some EverQuest 2 today, like we do on Tuesdays, Saturdays, not Tuesdays. Nerd fabulous. We haven't played in a couple weeks. We did not play last weekend because we were all tired from doing Bounty Code's all-night birthday bash the night before. So we just kind of took Saturday easy last week. But this week we're back for some more EverQuest 2. Everybody's napping at the moment, cat-wise. That was murder. Trying to herd cats is the phrase. Getting all the pictures taken for the adoption stuff. But it's done. I put the photos up on Facebook. We're going to send them to the vet. I put a link up in Discord if anybody who wants to check those out over on Facebook. Not everybody uses Facebook, but some do. Looks like Nathan's live as well. Let's go get over into the Discord for a Promodium. I just saw you went live.
What's up, man?
I am running on fumes, but here.
Yeah. You already did TLP earlier today, huh?
Yes, for about four-ish hours this morning.
Okay.
And then took a short nap with Chris, and then woke up and just did the photo shoot for the cats. I had a quick sandwich and new cup of coffee, and I'm here. And then after this is I got to do an audiobook episode for my YouTube members, and then a shower, and then we're gonna finish up Stranger Things. Well, the first half of Stranger Things, anyway.
Oh, nice. You're gonna do that today.
Yeah, we got 2 episodes left.
How many episodes were in the new release? We
Well,
haven't seen any of the new ones.
I haven't seen the new ones. So I think there was
Okay.
7 in part 1,
Yeah.
So we got episodes 6 and 7 left, and then they just dropped the second half.
Oh, that's what
Yes.
you mean. You got 2 left
Yes. Yes.
of the
First
last.
half.
Yeah, yeah. We finished the first half, and we haven't seen what just dropped. Well, I guess yesterday, huh?
Yeah, that's the one we haven't seen yet. So we got to wrap up that quick because we got new stuff to watch apparently. We're just now
Yeah,
getting
it's
caught
pretty
up.
good, man. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I
Some super neckbeards get a little upset about something. You'll immediately be like, "Oh, I see what they're doing
okay,
here."
yeah,
But
I'll know.
it's one of those things where it's like, for the show, this is good. For the D&D lore, okay. Like everybody just calm down a little bit. It's not a D&D show. It's supposed, you
Correct.
know what I mean? Like,
They're just using a D&D character.
right, right.
I got pretty stoked. We got to the end of episode 4, and this is. Are you live? I'm live, but I just wanted to make
I'm
sure.
I'm live, but not our audio
All
yet.
right.
I'm still on.
So spoiler alert for my audience because I am live. Mute it now, everybody. At the end of episode 4, when they figure out that music can block Vecna and she's in the dream, the redhead Billy,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
and they're in the graveyard and like she comes up and starts floating up into the sky, but she's in
yeah.
Vecna's world and she sees the portal and she starts trying to escape and he realizes for the first time that, oh, I'm losing control over my nightmare realm, and the look of panic in Vecna, like I can't believe they managed to put like
I
emotion
agree.
in a monster's face like that. And
Yep.
then the way he's just trying to keep her from escaping because he's like, no, no one's ever gotten away before, and she's floating up in the air. It was all so cool.
Yeah, it felt so good. That whole scene just was so
Visually,
visually, man, that is the most visually stunning show I feel like I've ever seen. Just every
it's
it's like they're telling a story with the camera angles and oh my gosh, I love it.
it's um it's intense. And then I started doing um the new season of Westworld because I've enjoyed that show so far. And the one thing that Westworld does very good, I actually said this in my review yesterday, was the cinematography it's Christopher Nolan's brother. So Nolan did all the Batman movies and everything else, and so his shots, he does a lot of the same big, wide, huge vista shots that zoom in like his brother does in all of his big epic films. And so you're getting this epic film feeling from a TV show
Yeah.
blended with a really badass soundtrack that just it's hard not to geek out over some of
Yeah.
these shows.
I agree. I agree. Just so well done, man. And I think we are from a time frame where we can respect it more because we grew up having to watch actual TV shows that were
Yes.
so cheesy, like you know, not budgets were low, etc. And to see these huge, just massive creations is really cool. I'm switching mine over to live now.
Maduro says he's curious how the 64-bit is working. He just reminded me that we are now playing on the 64-bit server or 64-bit client.
Yeah, so far so good, but we really haven't. I haven't done anything but sit here in town and sell my stuff yet. But
That's a good point.
I'm also running for the first time. I've been running the game at 1080 up until today, and I am running at 1440 now resolution, and it is really smooth. I mean, it's running good so far. We'll see. Is it just gonna be us two today?
I think so. I haven't seen anybody else yet.
Where are you at right now?
I am over by the Keynorse Claymore,
Okay, I'm headed that way.
and the only thing I have at this point, quest-wise, is to work on the next step of our armor quests.
Yes. Is yours in? I don't know if we have the same.
Oh,
We
mine
don't.
knows
Is yours
Thundering
in Thundering?
Steps. Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
All
Okay,
right,
so we're going
perfect.
to the same place. I'm headed that way.
We're talking about
I guess
Stranger
it.
Things, Vash Matrix.
Do you have to unlock flight points in this game?
No, you used to,
Okay.
not anymore.
Okay. So we can probably just fly over to the Thundering Steps over soon.
Yes, once we get out here. Did you get the group invite? Where is my group window? There it is.
Yeah, I should be in the group now.
Well, you could probably just log straight out to Kino's from wherever you're at, and we can fly towards the Thundering Steps and meet up there.
Yeah, I'm zoning into the whatever that main Keynote's the capital district now, and then I'll
I just zoned out to
zone out.
Antonica Prime. Telling you what, I got that neck beard grime going on right now. I haven't had a shower yet today.
Oh boy.
I went straight from morning stream session to nap to cat photo shoot, rolling around in the dirt outside in the yard, and then lunch in here. So if you could see it in the beard, ladies and gentlemen, you know it's real.
Well, technically, I'll make it to exactly 24 hours by the time we end this stream, because I took a shower not long before we went live yesterday.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine are usually around 4, so it'll be right around 24 hours for me. I was saying earlier to the during the TLP stream, I was like, since we moved out here where it's all humid, you have to take a shower every day. But
Oh
you
yeah.
know, I wasn't dirty, but in Mexico City, it's so dry and it never gets that hot. Like I'd go 2-3 days sometimes during the winter months because you're not sweating. And if you're not leaving the house, it's like you're not really getting dirty.
Yeah.
Some people will disagree, but that's why you'd often see me wearing the same shirt for like 3 days in a row. Like Asmongold says, it ain't dirty.
Well,
All right. Did you run straight to the?
Yeah,
Tower?
just south to the
Okay.
Keynote Gate station. I'm flying out to the step
Yeah, I
station
see it.
now.
All right. I'm about to fly as well. I'll see you in Thundering Steps.
Hoorah!
Oh, that's a big relief. Sparrow has negotiated Drac down to only level 20 on the TLP.
Oh, thank God. I was like looking at their levels today when they were in Unrest, going, there's no way they're getting a 24 by
Right.
Tuesday. There's no way. They're all like 17, 18. I was like, that's not possible.
Right.
Jason
I'm
says
not gonna lie, I hate to solo so bad. I'm too loyal to actually do this, but I hate to solo in EverQuest so bad that last week when I was trying to get it done, and I was sitting there as a paladin grinding blues for, several minutes per kill, for 1% XP.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know if I can continue doing this show. Like, I cannot do this. This is freaking awful. This is not why I like EverQuest.
No, it's not. I won't. I just flat out won't play if my group is, which is why. So with our static group, the last couple of weeks, I know Kel had to work late one night, Maduros had to work late one night, and then the Saturday morning after we did. So I was the first one. The Saturday morning after Bounty's birthday bash on P99, I was like, guys, I can't roll straight from that into a 7 o'clock in the morning TLP session.
Right,
I need to
right.
sleep. So I bowed out, and everyone else said, you know what, we'll just do something else for the day. And then the following Monday, Kel had to work late, so we didn't play that that Monday, him and Maduro. So it's like if one of us can't play, we're trying really hard to just not continue the group that night, and everybody goes and does something else or alts, which does help when everybody in the group can commit to something like that, because it means that no one's progressing without the others. But that's not the way we're doing our WoW group, nor is it the way that you're doing your MMO 101 group, because there are objectives to meet, and that does make it a pain in the butt. Like, I don't want to play EverQuest. I won't play EverQuest solo. It's like, nope, sorry.
Yeah, some people like it and find it relaxing. I never have. Well, let me rephrase that. There are times where you're just waiting on people to log on, or there's a group coming, and that's a different feeling than just knowing I need to grind this out by myself, several levels, and I have a time limit, and I don't have much time to spare anyway, right? Like, it's just like, jeez.
Vash says the
It's
artwork.
different in a game like WoW.
Oh,
you can
totally.
run
WoW, you
quests
can
and-
run it. You can pick up an alt and run quest lines.
Yeah,
Even
you're always missing content in WoW. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Same thing here.
Um,
It's like, or Lord of the Rings. There's stuff to
Yeah.
do always. Whereas
Yeah.
EverQuest, it's like you just got a group. That's it. I would not
Yeah.
want to. It's like people always like. They get questions on my channel sometimes, like, "What's the best class to solo?" And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess just do Prime.
All right.
Vash says the art in Stranger Things is pretty cool. Reminds me of Magic the Gathering, which I first got into because as an artistic kid, I loved the artwork. Oh, early Magic in particular had some really good artwork
What
on the
was really good?
cards. Early Magic the Gathering.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Classic.
Let me.
Howdy, folks.
Hey.
Hey, you made it. What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
I don't know how good our communication was last week, but we did that all night stream. We were just dead.
Yeah, I didn't hear, but when I noticed about 2:15 or so that y'all weren't on, I'm like, I guess they're not gonna play today.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got
sorry
something else
about that.
going on.
We streamed all night, and then you know
Hey,
we were
there's no
dead.
commitment. I mean, you just you do what you do, you know. Um, I won't be with you today though because I was needed to tank a
Okay.
Nectalos 2.
Oh, fun.
It's starting here in a little bit.
No worries.
It's the level 50 version of Nectalos Castle, which is where we need to go to get some level 50 gear
Nice.
before we
Okay.
trade.
Well, yeah, man, have fun. We're just gonna continue these quests.
Speaking of which, what do you need here, Nathan?
I am after the marine slugs.
I need the same.
And lost arrows from zombies.
Okay.
And I gotta find somebody named Grolven Chiptooth.
Okay.
It's a knoll apparently. With the spell book that I need.
Okay.
That was me, by the way, Nathan, that was standing on top of that Griffin Tower.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, that
missed
level
you.
50 monk. Yeah.
Alright, so the slugs are going to be down on the beach, so that's easy to get to.
It did sound like there was like some wind when you were talking when you were flying, Remfell, which was hilarious because it seemed like it was because you were on the Griffin.
Well, you know, when I play, I like to immerse myself.
right. I had to switch my headset, dude. I had my old headset for a decade.
Yeah, I like to use my stuff until it breaks. There's no
was
reason. Oh,
pooped out.
these are needed for something. Let's hold up at this.
Oh, yeah. What is this?
Yep, we need this for... Oh, those are for mine.
Oh, they're the zombies?
Mm-hmm.
That's for something you got. Okay, alright, let's get them.
I'm gonna let you pull, because those are heroics, so... Did you just mount?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I didn't have to. I forgot. This game, you don't have to. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I mean, don't have my buffs up or something. Something ain't right.
What is a heroic mob?
Yeah, maybe that is what it is.
I'm willing to bet we might want to find non-heroics for this one. Why is my phone beeping at me? Oh, Twitter's probably going crazy with something. That's what 'twas.
Twitter going nuts?
It was the tags from all of our retweets and stuff.
Yeah.
We can probably skip these, Nathan, because I'm willing to bet the ones in the canyons are going to be lower con, and they'll probably count as well. I
Okay.
hope. I hope. We'll go check. Because this is a tad bit rough.
Yep. I'm out of power, but he's
Me
almost
too.
dead.
There we go. Yeah, because I need 20 of those. That ain't happening.
Yeah. That'd be a project. Yeah, but you're probably right. There'll be some non-elite ones.
Are y'all doing the armor quest?
Yes.
I do believe that most of your targets for the armor quest are heroic mobs.
Okay. I can't remember. I just remember that I know in the canyons down here, there's a bunch of it, and I can't remember if those ones are also heroic.
The undead or skeleton, or so whatever you look. Oh, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, but there's all those skeletons in the canyons leading out from the docks. I'm gonna go check to see if those count.
They're the majority of them are heroic, but there are a few, and I mean just a few, scattered throughout that are non-heroic,
I guess
all the way through.
No, these these are all non-heroic right here, Nathan. These will count.
Let's get these.
Yep. And the sea slugs are around here too that we need. Jason says, "We're in fabulous!" Yes, Jason. The phone is beeping its love for me, yes. Here's a good question for you too, Nathan. It's being asked of me by Kevin B, but I think it's an apt question to ask you as well.
Okay.
He says, you seem to jump around in a lot of different MMOs. Do you ever feel spread too thin? I'll let you answer first.
No, but that's because by the time it rolls back around time to play the next MMO, I'm hungry for it anyway, because we're only playing like most of these games once a week. So it doesn't do that to me, but also it would if I was still working my full-time job with 55, 60 hours a week and trying to do this. Oh yeah, that would be way too much. I wouldn't. That's why I'm just now doing it, because now I have the time. That's how I feel about it. What about you?
So previously, I would have answered differently before I attempted to go full-time on YouTube, because now I'm treating it like a job. So I just log the hours like I would if I was clocking in for someone. But I can say that before I always said I only have ever usually played 2 MMOs at any given time. I would always play one with my brother and one that I play with the community. So I have one that's for the groups and one that's like usually Star Wars: Old Republic or Lord of the Rings Online. Something that I can play with my brother. We don't need groups. It's just for the story. And we could just log in, he and I, once or twice a week and have fun. Because he's got a couple of friends that play with us that he's known since they were all kids together. So there's usually 2 to 4 of us. And I never, going to what Nathan was talking about too, I don't think I ever feel spread too thin because for a few reasons. One, because we're both treating this like day jobs, because it is a day job and we're trying to make a living on YouTube now, you just got to change your mindset. It's not about, being burnt out on a game. It's like sometimes I'm going to log in and I'm not going to want to play. It's absolutely a fact. But
yeah, and it's different too when you're streaming or making content, because you get this energy from your chat and from your viewers who are like, "Oh, I love this game," or "Oh, I love watching you play this game," or and so you get this other kind of satisfaction, not just that you're enjoying it, but your other people are enjoying through you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that brings a lot of energy to want to continue doing these, and I'm planning on adding more to the rotation. Lord of the Rings is going to be my in between because I really like it.
It's so fucking good, dude.
I'm actually jonesing for it today. I just won't have time to play it today, so definitely I'll be playing it.
If I wasn't already doing my Lore Master on Tuesday afternoons, I would totally roll an alt and play with you because I love that game, and it is my number one all-time favorite MMORPG.
So good.
But I would also say too, to further answer that question, Kevin, and to say something to key off of what Nathan just said. When we start seeing chat going off, or we start seeing big numbers tuning in, or we start seeing, there are things that happen during live streams that it's no different than the dopamine hit that you get when you get a reward in the game.
It's true.
And that is a very real psychological factor, and it can't be denied. So that kind of stuff, when you're streaming, it can help push off any fatigue or boredom that might naturally occur from playing too many games and being spread quote unquote too thin. But that's just a perspective. I think it might be different for everybody. And I hate to say it, but I am going to say this just because I think it bears mentioning. Someone in an interview with Henry Cavill one time asked him about what was his favorite part of being an actor, and he said, this is what he said. He said, "I'm not supposed to talk about it because no one ever wants to talk about this side of being an actor." But he's like, the pay. The pay is absolutely one of the best parts of being an actor. And it's not that the pay the pay for being a streamer sucks. Let's just put it that way. We are not big time streamers. But there is a motivational factor with the dopamine hit that plays in too when you've got, you're going to get advertising, you're going to get subscriptions and views and, all the super chats and things. All those things factor in. Whereas before, because I think we both kind of started going full time around the same time. There was always another job that had to be worked, and therefore we didn't have the time to commit.
Yeah.
And so
and
we
I'll
weren't
say
so
something
focused on
else
that.
too. Unless somebody has another example that I'm unaware of, and I feel fairly certain I'm aware of everything going on as far as content creation goes for the most part in the MMO world. Nobody else does this, so we're also trying something new because most MMO content creators, they play one game for a while. And then that's it. And it may be a year or several years before they even return back to that game. Or they just focus on one game at a time, and that's all they do. We are trying to be multi-MMO, covering the whole genre. So we're playing a crap ton of MMO games,
Yeah, and the other thing too, I don't think that this is necessarily unique because other content creators do this with their ecosystems, but we are doing, most of the times that we're playing games, we have Kel and Sparrow also streaming with us, and we also have other group members like Maduros and Bindini and my brother and stuff in the various groups. And so there is a lot of, at least from my perspective, I know we've maybe talked about this off the air, but working with your friends to meet group goals, community goals that we all have with each other throughout the different games ties into that a little bit, I think, because it keeps us motivated knowing that, hey, I'm going to be able to help Kel get to 200 subscribers tonight, or I'm going to help Sparrow get to here, or I'm going to help Nathan get to here. There's definitely the motivating factor of wanting to help your friends while playing with your friends.
True. That's a good motivator for MMORPGs in general.
Yes, the group component.
The community aspect of I know I've played MMOs before in the past where I'm I wasn't even feeling it anymore, but I still logged in every day because people in the community were feeling it, and I wanted to still be a part of that. So that's definitely a big factor in MMOs.
Thanks, Relic. I really appreciate that comment, Relic
thing,
Priest.
though, that you were touching on. That's Sparrow mentioned it. That's a major plus. People talk about streamer privilege. I feel like that's the biggest one. Is you can set up.
Number
anybody
one.
can do that, but we feel more committed to make sure we make it.
Yes.
99% of the time. So
there was a somebody. I think it was somebody in my YouTube a couple days ago had asked, how are you? He's like, is there ever going to be any room in one of your static groups? And I said, unfortunately, no. Because this is, these are preset groups and we have objectives and goals and et cetera. But I was like, it's not, I say it's not, but It is. It's not that it's difficult to start a static group. I think Lance was in here the
Right.
other day. Lance/Gila, who's one of our community members I've played a lot of games with, talked about how his work, because he's working 2 jobs, he's like, I really want to be able to play games, but it's hard to find time to be able to meet with people who are going to be able to play at the same time that I play, and that definitely is a challenge. But here's what I used to do before I ever formed my own, before I got into game dev, before I was a quote unquote person of interest or a streamer or anything like that. When I wanted to do a group, I would go to Reddit. I would start in the game forums for whatever game I was playing, and I would post a post saying, this is my time slot, this is what I'm playing. I would like to find other people who play at this time slot. And you're either going to find other people, or you might find a guild that's recruiting. And then there, boom, you're done. And if you don't find it on the forums, you can always go to the subreddit for whatever game you're wanting to play and post there and say, I play this at this time slot, I'm looking for other people or a guild to join. And without fail, over 20 plus years of MMOing, I have never, ever, ever had to sit around looking for group like so many people have talked about. Like, I
Yeah, it
always
does
have
work.
people to group with.
It does work.
How many of these do you need, by the way?
And that's the best way to play. If you've got people that, well, I don't know if it's the best way to play, but if you're limited on time, that's the best way to enjoy a game. There's something to be said about the natural MMO way as well, where you're in a guild that's very active, you're playing a game that's active, you log on, you just, what is everybody up to? Anybody need me? That's a lot of fun too.
Do you still need these, Nathan? Because I'm seeing a flag over them, but I don't know what they're for.
Yeah, I still need the slugs,
Okay, perfect.
and I see an undead over there too.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know how many of the slugs you needed.
And also, everybody, don't forget tonight, it's Cringe Pony TV episode 4. I finished it up.
Nice.
Last night I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure I had it exactly how I wanted. Now I gotta admit, I'm a little concerned about this one. I pushed the envelope of what's the word I'm looking for? It pushes some buttons.
Good.
It pushes some buttons, but
I wish I
think
could
it's
stay up
worth
and
it.
watch them live, but my beard doesn't grow unless I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
See, I have the opposite problem. My beard doesn't grow unless I stay up really late. Act like a degenerate.
Hey, Relic, I really appreciate what you said. You found me via my Lotro vids. The tour of the Shire that I did on free to play, 100% the reason you got a sub. I play that game because of how much fun you looked at. You heard, dude. I love Lotro. I don't know if you've watched any of my recent videos, Priest. I think I've seen you a couple times, but the Rohan content is so good. It is so good. And I've yet
I'll tell you
to
something
stop
this
having
game
fun.
did that I'm pretty sure was the first time anybody had done. You know, is there some kind of like... No, I do still need these. I'm trying to get gemstones from them, so that's why it's taking so long to drop.
It's all good.
I do like that this game does that. You get your HP and your MP back at a bub ding,
Yes.
a mini ding, or whatever they call it. in this game.
Yes.
That's pretty nice because
Can
that saves
save your
butt
ass
sometimes.
sometimes. Yeah, for sure. Vash has a question, and I never did. She said, "Did you, or he or she, they said, did you ever play the Matrix movie? Sorry, the Matrix MMO."
The MMO, no, and you know, I heard it was actually kind of good, but at the time it seemed like everybody said it was trash, and I didn't
I was
play
busy
it.
with probably EverQuest 2 when that came out.
Yeah, I was probably somewhere between EverQuest 2, Final Fantasy 11, or Dark Age. I don't remember which one I was
I didn't
playing.
get a chance to play it. I did see it,
But
Vash,
you know,
but it took me a
that
minute.
game had the same problem in my mind that Lord of the Rings, when it first launched, had in my mind, which was, I was just thinking, like, how are you going to make an MMO out of that when you're telling the story of the book with the Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
So I just immediately just kind of brushed it off, like, it can't be good, because how could an MMO be awesome and still follow the story of the book? Which I was wrong. They did a really good job at it, but that turned me off immediately. I was like, I wish they would just made a, you know, it's in Middle Earth, some other time frame, you know. That's so I didn't give Lord of the Rings even a chance because I was like, oh my goodness, they're trying to follow the story. I was like, how could you just be a random adventurer? There'd be millions of people helping Frodo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, Vash also says, I found Renfield because of not liking Rings of Power. I got into Lothar because I wanted to enjoy
Well, I was
Tolkien
wrong,
while
but they did a really good job of
boycotting
doing
Rings
that.
of Power.
And you
Lothar's a good
know,
game.
Matrix was the same way. It was like you were assisting Neo or whatever, something like that.
Are there any emulators of the Matrix game?
I don't think so. Wasn't that published by Sega?
Yeah. Yep. No, it was a Sony online
Was
entertainment
it
game.
Sony? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's one of the ones that Smedley got shit on for because he closed it down.
Okay.
But speaking of
Yep.
emulators, I don't know if you saw my announcement, but I am starting in July
Let's see.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Vanguard Saga of
Vanguard.
Heroes.
Okay, slugs are done.
All right.
Some
It's gonna be
zombies.
pretty casual, maybe once a week or so. That's it. And it's just me for now, because what I want to do is just roll around on my Ranger, and just go do quests like once a week. Go through and do the old stuff that I remember, and then
Yeah.
cover like the starting towns, like because I loved the Bordnar's Cleft, the starting area for the dwarves is like one of the best dwarven starting areas of any game I've ever played, and I really just want to go show that and be like, this is what this was, and see what people say. Because I think there's still value, even though it's a sunset game, even though it's an emulator. Excuse me. You know, there's value to it for people who might want to just go have fun for 3 months and try something
Sure.
in between waiting for the expansion of whatever's their favorite MMORPG. Because it's there. You know, there's only a few people working on it. It's very slow. You know, but it's a valid experience. You can play for 2-3 months and find.
And it's the
things to
only
do.
way to experience that game too.
Right. I kind of wish, like, I don't know if you ever played Tabula Rasa.
I remember that. Yeah, by Richard Garriott.
I wish there was an emulator for that one because I think it could also have a life as an emulator, but I don't think anybody can get their hands on the client code.
I had a friend who was blown away by that game. I never gave it a real. I did play it for a very short time. But I don't remember, some other game I was way too.
Me
into
too.
to
Me
actually-
too. I think it was only 2 months was all I gave it because I was too busy.
And it was sci-fi, and I still am. Science fiction games, love them sometimes, but fantasy games will
It's like-
always win.
I tried so hard with WildStar and I just couldn't do it because it was like Warcraft in space and I was just not into it. I was like, if I want to play Warcraft, I'll play Warcraft. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I think a lot of people started feeling that way. Like, you know what? Why am I even doing this when all they're, it's just a more hardcore WoW, but not the same characters and lore and history I already have with the other game.
That so is a 2-bub. That's also a 2-bub. Well, let's just try it and see. Well, Vash, I never know these days, because everybody could be a he, she, it, they. You never know. I try not to assume. I'm definitely a he, him. Also an asshole to some, but yeah. Maduro says, love Tabula Rasa, the forts you could take over after clearing the enemy NPCs, and you could do quests from the forts after you took them over.
Oh, that's cool. And it was action based, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was like a shooter type. And it's interesting
Yeah.
because what a lot of people don't realize is almost everyone who worked on Shroud of the Avatar worked on Tabula Rasa under Garriott, and they just moved over
Oh,
to that
interesting.
game.
I did not realize.
Yeah.
That game's hanging in there, huh? Shroud of the Avatar?
No, not really.
Okay.
I
It was handed over to one, it's just
It's
handed
one-
over to that one guy, right?
It's one dude, Chris, with a couple subcontractors with him, and if
Super
you,
nice guy.
yeah, he is nice in real life. the announcement he made when Garriott announced his new game a couple months back was
Oh yeah.
that I've been working on Richard's new game for the past 6 months. But don't worry, Shroud of the Avatar people. I'm still working on Shroud. It's not going anywhere. It's like, yeah, come on.
Come on, we've
it's-
heard that so many times.
It's a
man.
dead project, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're
It's
getting
like
paid.
That
over
always
there.
reminds me when people say that. It's like, dude, Nintendo's the worst about it. Out of any company, they're always like, "Oh yeah, we're making the Switch, but don't worry, this is different. We're gonna continue supporting the 3DS. 3DS is its own thing. Don't worry. It's not gonna. It's like, come on, dude, you're replacing. Why can't you just say that? Just be honest. Just say, hey, yeah, this didn't work out like we planned. I feel like that's a better way to approach it. Like, hey, our last project we messed up on a couple of things. I'm sorry. Give us another chance. We learned from our mistakes, and we're going to try this again. Because the people that are there aren't going to leave now if they're still there. Jeez. They've had ample opportunity to leave, Shroud of the Avatar's not going to become a success randomly next week,
Nope. No. I think the only people still playing it are the whales who put in $10,000 and so they feel like they can't walk away.
Yeah. You know what? That's what you get, whales. It's like a giant whale who's beached up on the shore, just barely getting enough ocean water to breathe. That's what you get. That's what you get. Actually, you know what? I feel sorry for the whales. It's the developers that or not the publishers usually that really deserve.
It is. So I don't remember if this was on the live stream we did with you or if it was one of the live streams I did with the TLP. But we had a very interesting discussion the other day about Chronicles of Illyria. Who was it that said that they were in it for a few thousand? Somebody from our TLP group said they were in it for a few $1,000s and felt really, but they were saying that they were in a group of people, and in that group of people, they were one of the people on the low end of the totem pole with just a few $1,000s invested. Are you doing an AOE of some kind, FYI?
I did a while back.
Okay.
That got the one crab. I don't know why. I don't know if it's social aggro.
No, it's probably just an AOE.
Maybe I accidentally did another AOE.
Oh shit.
I got a heal too. Bam. I'm gonna use my.
I'm using my oh shit heal. But he was saying that in the group where he was a few $1,000s in, there was a guy who had put $80,000 into Chronicles of Illyria as a
That's
backer.
a lot, dude. Jeez.
But as a backer, not as an investor, and I can't fathom putting in $80,000 as a backer of an MMORPG. Like, what is the compelling? I could totally see doing $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, maybe even. Like, if I'm really into something, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, Vanguard, I was in for $1,000 because I did $500 for me and $500 from my ex-partner, and 2 collector's editions, $1,000, and had they offered we should leash these off, Nathan. I'm out of power.
Yeah, let's run them
They're
off.
rooted.
All right, perfect. We don't even need the crabs anyway. That was an accident. Ooh,
Yeah.
I went to purple club.
Ah!
Hang on.
I might be able to get you a heal. Go, 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 go. I would totally have gone more into Vanguard had they offered more. But at the time, that was way before they were doing all these different tiers. I think we dropped them.
All right, they're off.
But I just can't imagine, like, and you see that around Star Citizen too, like, where people get so invested in this idea of going into a virtual world and becoming somebody important in that virtual world because of land plots or ships they own. Like,
yeah.
I don't have that compulsion.
I don't either. Not for land in a virtual world. That means nothing to me. It's kind of like housing. Like, I totally get why some people like it, and I do like it to be in the games. because people like it, but I don't give a crap about housing. Now, guild houses, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like a personal house,
I love the
I've
Matrix
owned them in
movies,
MMOs,
Vash.
and I tell you what,
Those are
they
great
might
films.
have had like one thing on the wall, or I just it's not compelling to me because that's a single player. You know, like why would I do that? I just don't understand it. But I know that a lot of people do, so I always wish it would be in games. But guild houses, that's where the community can come together. You can have guild meetings. You know, there's benefits to the guild coming and maybe crafting in some games there, etc. So I get that one.
That's one of those areas where I don't think it's in yet because of the pace of their work. But Vanguard, when it launched, had one of the coolest crafting systems because it required everyone working together, and you could do the group harvesting.
Yes.
So we had actual raid nights where instead of earning DKP for killing mobs, you earned DKP for harvesting with the guild. And so we were the first guild on the server to build a guild ship. We had an actual ship that everyone had. We were the first one to build houses and a guild hall for the guild. And it required these massive undertakings to get all the crafting resources together. Can I use that? Where did it go? There it is.
That is one of many reasons why that if people want a sneak peek of a lot of the inspirations for Pantheon Rise of Fallen, don't play EverQuest, play Vanguard.
Play Vanguard,
because, yeah, there's a ton. Like what you were just talking about is, if for anybody that didn't play Vanguard, they'd be like, wait, that sounds like you're talking about Pantheon. And when I was streaming Vanguard for a while there, I was streaming it like almost every day
on the emulator
server.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah, we had a big community for a little while there, and work just got in the way and I couldn't continue. But when I was doing that, Joppa hopped in to my chat for a second because I had been playing Reign of Darkness prior to that, and mainly just because they were using some of the same assets that pre-alpha Pantheon was using.
Mm-hmm.
Reign of Darkness just reminded me of a specific dungeon in Pantheon, so it had me like super hyped, like, you know what I mean? But then I started playing Vanguard, and Joppa hopped in just to make a public point in my chat where he just said, how do you feel about this game? And I was like, man, I love this game. I wish it was still around, yada yada. He said something like, what would you say that you believe that Pantheon is more inspired by this game or EverQuest? And I was like, oh, this game. And then he said something like, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. And then he left. And it was like, okay. Nice. You know, like, and he fights that EverQuest thing all the time. Like, hey, guys, this is not an EverQuest clone. You know, like, don't expect EverQuest. This is its own thing. Like, yeah, those feelings will still be there. That's what we're going for. But, you know, this is not an EverQuest clone. And Vanguard didn't feel like an EverQuest clone either.
No,
like
it did not. It was
thing.
It definitely had some of like the quest hubs that World of Warcraft had done, but it was way more than that because you had the sympathetic system for combat, you had the diplomacy, you had group crafting, group harvesting, a really rich and unique crafting system. The diplomacy sphere in and of itself was something that was just completely unique to any other MMORPG.
Yeah, what a great idea that
And I don't think any game has done group harvesting since Vanguard. Like,
nope.
Rats.
Thank you.
I need 3 more of those and I'm done.
22, nice.
Did you play EQ2 back in the early days whenever there was interdependency?
Yep.
Crafting?
Yep.
Yeah.
I played it from launch for 7 years.
That was kind of neat. Kind of like that. To make a leather belt, you needed to get a metal belt buckle from another crafter.
Yep.
They still have that in WoW Classic now, even. It's pretty interesting.
Yep. True.
Which, not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen who are listening to these streams, if there's one game that I am hyped for right now, it's World of Warcraft Classic Wrath of the Lich
Wrath.
King.
Yeah, me too.
I'm having
actually super excited.
so much fun leveling up right now. And again, for me, I didn't play it when it was live, so it's like a brand new game for me. The stuff we're doing right now, I did play at Classic launch, but a lot of it's still fresh. Like it's not, I haven't done it 20 times like I have with EverQuest 1 and EverQuest 2. You know, I can play these games with my eyes shut.
Lotro Classic.
What's that?
Lotro Classic.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they would do that, because the legendary servers don't quite get you there.
There's a private server coming for that.
Oh.
Somebody in my, I'll get you the name of it. It's super close to launching, I think. Because somebody came on one of my Lord of the Rings streams and was like, "You should play this instead." But it's like, you know what? I'm gonna support the
You should,
official.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
like I really respect that there's servers out there for people to play that are exactly what they want. But besides Vanguard, because it's the only way to play that game,
Yes.
or P99 because it's, you know, Daybreak accepts it. It's not a.
Those
It's
have gotta
allowed.
be social.
That's about the only. Yeah, they gotta be. I did do my AOE though.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
So maybe I just did it again.
I have my opinion on emulators is that if there is an official version of the game up, you should be playing that because
Yes.
of copyright and intellectual property and people deserving to get paid for the work they're
Yeah.
putting into those things.
Yeah, because how would I feel if somebody immediately took my uploads and re-uploaded them on their channel
Yep.
and they got more views than I did?
Yep.
Like, I don't want to do that to somebody else. And as a content creator, you got to be more aware of stuff like that too, because you're affecting other people's decisions in a way. So you gotta. I just feel like you gotta be respectful, even if you don't like the publisher. It doesn't matter. Like they still legally and rightfully own that property. You know.
It's kind of a situation where I think it's fine if it's a sunset game that's no longer like Star Wars Galaxies, great example. Vanguard,
Yep.
great example. But if it's like so many people are like, oh, I prefer this emulator of World of Warcraft. Well, you should just go play Warcraft if you love Warcraft so much. I know you hate Blizzard, but still.
Yeah. If you like the game, then who, you know, and I can do that. I can hate the publisher and still like their game if it's good. I mean, you know.
I've had a lot of people over the years who are like, they're like, it's EA, I won't touch anything
Yeah.
EA publishes. And I'm like, why? EA publishes some amazing games. Like, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like,
Yeah, I hate EA as well, but tell you what, they own Dark Age Camelot, so. They own an IP that I love.
oh my god.
Okay, that was not me, so they are social.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop a heal to you.
Yeah, let's run. This is easy.
Yeah, because we don't even need that stupid crab. Man, you can get crabs out here, guys. Warning to all.
And they're kind of nasty. They're itchy and scratchy, and
Yeah. Pinching you.
they do damage over time.
And right when you get rid of one, another one shows up.
All right, there we go. All right, just one more undead, then we can move on to the next. I think we got one over here. I'm gonna pull him back though. Oh, here's one right here. Apparently my chat lagged out, everybody, so I'll go through YouTube chat here in a second. Bash says, next I'll pretend to be a girl and get accepted to college with a score that wasn't accepted as a man. I could always use the race card. Yeah, totally. There's a guy called Tosh, I think. He's really obnoxious and annoying. He's a bald guy. But he had a really brilliant discussion on... He went on an interview about race recently. And he's like, for the rest of this interview, I'm identifying as a woman.
More
And
undead.
had a really good rant about why. All right, what do you need now?
Actually, now I just need the NPC.
What's it called again?
Groven Chiptooth. He's a knoll apparently.
Okay. He didn't show up on my EQ2 maps here, so I'm gonna look where he's at.
I don't remember his. It doesn't.
Oh,
show me
he's
where
in a
they
different
started.
zone, I think.
Oh,
He says he's in Antonica,
Oh.
near the furthest east entrance to Blackborough.
Oh, okay. So he's way up north in
We'll have to,
Antonica.
yeah, we'll have to go back to Antonica, but I still need drowned skeletons here.
All right, let's get those.
Let's see here. I think any of these will count, which is just going down the tunnel here. Canyon, not the tunnel. Drowned. These are all oh, these are getting orange. Drowned. Oh, I see one way over there past a whole bunch of other mobs. I'm gonna back out a little bit. I don't see an easy way to get to that.
Ooh, and they're heroic. Too.
Yeah, I don't want to fight like those. That's not. Let's see if we can go around real quick. Probably can't. But I know there's other ones further down where they're not so protected. It's legit, Vash, for sure. I'm not speaking out against inequality or that it doesn't exist or anything else, but it is definitely true that white males are no longer, it's flipped to the extreme now, for sure. Now I don't remember if you can, I think we can go over here and jump off and over and pull up. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yep.
So, oh, those are double up.
This one looks like I could just get it, right?
Yeah, we can get that one. What?
I was just saying something up with that Somebody's asking my chat what I think about the developer roundtable at the end of the month being all access. I mean, that just means they got a big announcement. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's something. It'd be cool if it was alpha.
It would be. I think they'll have to run another pre-alpha or two, though. Just to make sure the network's stable.
I wonder if they're going to do like an open test.
They might, just to really ram that network. I would if I was them. You know, just ram it. Let's find out how much can this bad boy hold. And I bet you more people show up than other games who tried to do that not too long ago.
I was laughing because I did check in today, and their community manager was streaming, and little old me streaming a 23-year-old game had more people last night than they have today at prime time.
Man. It's got to be the weakest lead up to launch I've ever seen in MMO history.
What happened to the early to mid launch they were promoting? They promised. Their press release promised that.
Yeah, well, hey, they're better off not keeping that promise. I hope they do delay it for their own sake. But now, I don't know, man. It's just like the enthusiasm, and I don't keep up to date because I really just don't care about it at all. But from everything I have seen, the enthusiasm is just
not there.
Dead from the developers. So, like, of course, like now, what's the lady's name on the team?
Eloa.
The streamer, Eloa. Now, Eloa has a great attitude. You know, she's a likable person. I'm talking about pretty much everybody but her. It's just like there's this weird, like, you know, it feels like the way they come across, and I know they don't do this intentionally, but it comes across as like, we're a scam because this isn't real. That's what it comes across as, you know, because there's... How can you be working all the time on this project and not be excited about it? You know what I mean? I don't even understand.
I'm still confused.
You know how excited I am for Cringe Pony that I worked on for 1 week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I am, like, so excited. Like my heart will be pumping out of my chest as we're about to go live, you know? Like, and that's 1 week of work. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't know. That's a good question, Maduros. I don't know that there is a level limit. Maduros asks, what level will you guys be able to quest with people from Freeport mid-20s? Is there some crossover? I don't...
The crossover for what?
Oh, I'm out of power, by the way.
Okay.
Is he talking about EQ2?
I think he's talking about EQ2.
Yeah, you can group with... Evil can group with good from jump.
I don't need these, by the way, Nathan. There's some... I'll have to go pull them to us.
Is he talking about WoW? Because WoW just recently did the crossover thing on retail.
No, he said Freeport, so he's definitely talking EverQuest.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I'll pull the next one back. I think from level 1, Maduros, anybody can group with anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just gotta
just
to each
trying
other.
to choose the right place to do it is difficult.
Right. Yep.
Now I know there was one here a minute ago. There it is. I'm gonna go pull that back here to us.
Because there is still kill on site. You know, like you can't just waltz into keynotes if you're.
I'm pulling it up here, Nathan, so we don't get ads.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
Oh, I see what you mean, Maduros. That's a good question. Well, technically, you could do the quests. I don't think faction matters for questing, if I remember correctly. Like, I can go do quests in Nektalos, or are there some camps that have guards? I don't remember there being guards in any of the camps, like to keep me from doing the quests there.
There are guards, but they're not aggro.
Yeah, they're not
instance,
aggros.
In Nektalos Forest, just inside of the gate from Common Lands, there's a camp. There are guards there. They're militia guards, but a good character can go there and quest with their evil friends.
Yeah, so I think the only places where it's faction only is the 2 starting cities, Maduros, and outside of that, you can go do quests wherever you want, good or evil. Matter of fact, I think the difference would be, for example, because the quests we're doing right now are armor quests from Kinos, we're doing mobs here, whereas the armor quests for Freeport would be in Nektalos or Common Lands. But that's because they're faction-specific quests. Otherwise, like if I were to run down to the docks here in Thundering Steppes, evil or good can both run quest lines there. Exactly. Nectalos or Thundering Steps. All right. Let me take a peek here. Yep, there's one right there.
After a certain level, around 15 or 20, most people just they don't do a lot of quests. They just run dungeons.
Oh, and on the topic of before, I check in every weekend just because I have to keep an eye on it for legal purposes. And I have just watched the numbers steadily decline.
They weren't that high to begin with.
No.
Like 20. Started about 20ish.
I've seen upper 20s, lower 30s.
Yeah. Okay.
At least from the visible streams.
Man, that's rough.
Well, it's kind of like the Shroud of the Avatar scenario. I don't see anybody streaming Shroud of the Avatar anymore.
True.
If there are, there might be 10 or 15 people watching, and that's it.
Another MMO that the hype has absolutely just died, that's still in development, is Camelot Unchained, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna hold out for heals because I'm almost out of power here.
I'm afraid to even make a video about Camelot Unchained because their fan base that spent a lot of money on it are so mad that, like, I just don't even feel like reading those comments, like, they're just so pissed.
And you used to get, like, a lot of your early videos.
My most popular. Yeah, it was my most popular videos. It was trumping Pantheon by, like, 10 to 1 at the time, back when, what was that, about 4 years ago?
I'm out of juice, by the way. We may need to run this.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. My own hands isn't up. I need a little bit of power for it, I guess.
Oh!
Man, that was close!
Oh! I may have puckered a little on
I got
that
a mini
one.
ding. Oh, that is crazy. It doesn't get any closer than that. I do love that about this server, though. That's a lot of fun as opposed to playing on a regular server where that almost never happens.
I thought I gave it to you, not me.
Oh, did you mean to do it to yourself?
Yeah, I gave you food and water. I was like, wait a second, where'd my food and water go? What's up, Apollomy? Waiting on my mana regen. Alright, I think I can pull one. Where'd he go? I saw him a second ago and then he disappeared. Oh, there he is. Let's hope I can pull him back that far. He's over there.
Alright, and who is it? It's another one of your,
Drowned Trooper, yeah.
Okay.
Man, he's right next to a bunch of other dudes. I don't know if I can get him or not.
Does the lieutenant count?
No, it's got to be the troopers.
Okay.
Oh, thank God they're not social.
Nice.
I'm going to pull up the wall, though, so we don't hopefully get any... Oh, did he leash? Okay, whew. panic moment.
Yeah, I pulled him off of you and he did the little pathing. Fighting on this absurdly steep cliff.
Nice. Doing a drive run to deliver pet food.
Oh no. Mid-drool, Alb's drool. No, 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 no.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this is a little ridiculous. I need 16 of these in total. This is only number 4.
Oh wow.
This makes me feel like old school EverQuest.
Alright, I'm down. Let's grind it out.
You're here for 5 hours on one mob type. Yeah, and unfortunately these ones all are heroic, and
They're scary too.
they're pretty scary because we're taking I mean, it's taking all of our power to do one of them at a time.
Yeah. We get ads and we're gonna have to run.
I think there's guards on the bridge. Oh, and they're resisting all my...
Yeah, I hate it in MMOs when the guards don't do anything.
Yeah, that was a little
Yeah.
weird at Furiona Vi last night. I didn't realize the guards wouldn't help. We were standing there and somebody got wailed on by a pirate and the guards just stood there and were like, yeah, well, I guess good luck
Oh,
with
that happened to you on EverQuest? I didn't know that. I didn't know that happened to you.
right before you got there last night. Congrats on that.
Ooh, Blessing of the Paladin, nice.
Oh, there's one over there, but I'll wait till your power's up.
Yeah. Funny, even on a horse, I keep typing sit. And it doesn't even matter in this game anyway.
Well, my 4th of July weekend of Apollo is going to be just hanging out and playing games. We've got, and watching Stranger Things. Chris and I are going to catch up on Stranger Things tonight. I know you're not on Facebook, Nathan, but I put up some, I did my adoption photos for the cats this morning, or this afternoon, and I gotta say, they're pretty cute. Goddamn cats, man.
And what was it? You guys took like a photo shoot?
Yeah, I did a photo shoot for our cats. Ready to... I do miss doing photography for a living, not gonna lie. There are days when I miss it. There are days that I don't miss the long, grueling photo shoot days. But I did that for a living for like, I don't know, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And after a while, anything you do for fun, once you start doing it for a living, it can eventually start to feel kind of grindy.
Yeah.
And we had somebody asked a very good question one time. It's like, oh, you're a travel photographer, travel videographer, travel blogger. You're going all around the world, and the governments are whining and dining you, and you're on press tours, and oh my God, that sounds so amazing. It does sound amazing, and most times it is amazing. But what people don't realize is that, let's say I go for 2 weeks to Puerto Vallarta, and I'm on a contract. This is legitimately what I did one time. On a contract for Oyster and TripAdvisor. We're there 14 days. We got to do 24 resort photo shoots in 14 days. No days off, so it's a 2-week. You're going in, you're working 14-hour days. Every night, wherever you sleep, yeah, you're sleeping at a 5-star resort, 5-star hotel. But you're not getting into your room until about 9 o'clock at night, and you have just enough energy to take a shower, grab a bite to eat, and then you got to be up by 5:30 the next morning because you have to shower, get all your gear packed, and check out and move to the next hotel to do your next photo shoot. And you literally have to also be recharging all the batteries for all your cameras, getting everything onto the external hard drives, uploading all of your stuff to the drives and the cloud and everything else. So it's like you get to go to all these cool places, do all these cool things. Sometimes yes, but most of the time you're living through the lens of the camera.
Yeah. And that's a totally different thing. Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're on a really cool beach and you're staying at a hotel that costs, $7,000 a night. But I don't get to enjoy any of that. It's literally head in the pillow at 10 o'clock and back up at 5 and out the door. And I may have gotten to sample some really nice cuisine at the buffet. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, there are exceptions to that because there were some really cool projects where we went and we were on our own. Like, Spain was awesome. Like, Spain, we had an open tab, and they just told us, come in for 3 months, we'll host you. You're our bloggers in residence, and you could just do whatever you want for 3 months. Here's a rental car. Here's a bunch of apartments you can use. Here's a bunch of unlimited internet packages. Go forth and have fun for 3 months and just record whatever you want to record. Shoot whatever you
Nice.
you got two.
Uh-oh.
I won't be able to heal that, so
Okay, one.
Alright, I'm going to do my little heal and run. Probably gonna do my lay on hands.
we got this one. You can stop, Nathan. We got this one.
Okay. Alright.
He got the other one.
Perfect.
I was happened to just be running by. I'm on my way to the docks.
Oh, nice!
Nice.
Saved us.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, so I got a really interesting question here in my chat. They said they were talking about, we were talking about spells that, like, affect the world, I guess you could say. Like, a wizard being able to maybe summon a storm cloud in the general
I'll
area
answer you
where
here in a
they're at
minute,
or
Ross,
something like that.
after we do this, what Nathan's talking
And
about.
they said, what class should be able to cause a solar eclipse in, like, one zone? For
None.
example?
No, nobody should be able
Too
to.
powerful?
That's way too powerful. That's god level ability. No one should be able to
GM.
block out
A
the
GM.
sun. Yeah, a GM or a god level, because that you're dealing with nature at that point, and even the most powerful of wizards can only affect small components. Like, it wouldn't be able to block out the sun. It would be something like where you could maybe you could cause a thick blanket of clouds that would block it. That's realistic. Like, you could cause a thick enough blanket of clouds to block out the sun for a limited amount of time. But you have to think about that for a minute, because the entire planet is going to be fighting you, the energy that you're trying to put up there, because all of the natural wind cycles and humidity cycles and everything, that's all going to be fighting you.
I like the way you just answered that. That's good. Yeah.
There was an MMO I played where druids could summon this 10-second storm cloud that would just AoE for 10 seconds. There was an idea that somebody had where if you had multiple druids, that you could basically lengthen the amount of time of the storm or make it last longer in a bigger area. That would have been cool.
I think there's a troop over here. I'm gonna try to pull it, Nathan. It's
Alright.
under the bridge on the other side. Ugh. Maybe not. It's way far away. Let's just
What if it'd be interesting for, like, I think that, like, if you're talking about a single player RPG and it's like a really powerful spell that you can't use often or whatever, or maybe that particular character, it weakens them for an extended period of time after they do it. You could have some fun with some stuff like that. But I think you put it really well. Like, that's affecting a little too much. That would take an immense amount of power.
We're gonna finish the first half tonight,
And
Ross.
plus, you got to remember how
of
players
season
actually
4.
behave.
We got to watch episodes 6 and 7,
There would just be a solar eclipse
and
in
then
every zone
we'll start
24/7.
the second half. But not tonight.
People just run around doing it just for the fun of it, just because
Right.
they can.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting about the push to mute. Anytime you start thinking about stuff like that, you have to think about who it's gonna affect. I mean, it might sound cool, but there's a lot of other things going on, a lot of other players.
You just reminded me. I seen recently in a, which I'm a big fan of this guy. I think he's just one of the more top tier content creators. Josh Strife Hayes.
Yeah.
And he was in the middle of a stream, and somebody randomly, just some random person's chat was like, "Hey, can you pause the game? I want to go make some tea real quick." and he seen it, and he was just like, he paused the game and was like, all right, we'll wait. You know, he wants. It's a valid point. He wants to go. He wants to go make some tea, and we can wait. We can wait for him. And he just sat there and chatted with the chat. And he's like, "Let us know when you get back." And the guy, after about 5 minutes, like, "Okay, I'm back." And he was like, "All right, let's continue the game." It's freaking hilarious, dude. But that reminded me of that because I remember when MMOs were a new thing, and I barely lived out on my own at that time. So I didn't have to deal with it. But I remember a common thing was, you know, you can't pause it. You know, so people come in, you know, parents, people that still lived at home, pause it. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how awful that would be if people could pause this game? Everybody's just like, oh crap, somebody paused. Gotta wait. The world's on pause.
I seem to remember playing a game where if you were in multiplayer, anybody who was in your group could pause it, and I cannot remember for the life of me. It might have been Baldur's Gate 2 or something, like playing a multiplayer version of Baldur's Gate 2 or Baldur's Gate 1. Maybe anybody could pause the game if they were in your party and you were doing a multi-party, I wonder if they're gonna do that with Baldur's Gate 3. I've not done the multiplayer yet. Like
I haven't either. I have no idea.
Well,
I haven't even done it.
we're gonna
Never
have
even
to, we're
tried it.
gonna
We're
have
gonna
to
find
test
out.
that. Yeah.
Rimpa, I want to tell you some exciting news that might make you interested in something, and
Okay.
chat just said something that reminded me of it. Elden Ring now has a mod for PC where you can legitimately play multiplayer. You can just run in the world together. That is a game changer. Because Elden Ring is so good, but the multiplayer freaking blows, in my opinion. That stupid pull out a finger and sacrifice it to the gods and maybe see your friend, because you're not even guaranteed that you'll get your friend.
That sucks. What is
Yeah,
that?
that's
Like, what
lame.
even?
It's from you know, like way back in the day on the PS3 or whatever, when that was, you know, a cool way to do online multiplayer, you know, for Dark Souls, and they just continued it through to Elder Scrolls. Because when I heard Elder Scrolls was going to be multiplayer, I legitimately was thinking, like, no way they'll do it that old school way. They're going to do it to where, like, we can run around together, you know. Nope. But now you can with the mod, which is super cool.
I downloaded and still have not touched that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, dude, it's good.
I've had it on here for 3 days and I haven't touched it yet. And I'm like, oh, I
If you
really
ever-
need to get to it.
Yeah, if you ever get a hair up your butt, because that's a multiplayer game. I mean, that'd be a fun little weird stream we could do. I doubt we'd get many views, but it'd be fun. That's a really cool game, man. Really well done. Throwback, nostalgic, awesome game.
I'm definitely down for it. Question would be setting up a time. I do. You're a late night owl and I am not.
Yeah, you're an early. I remember we had that conversation where I was like, we're kind of on opposite schedules in a way. We meet up in the
In the
evening.
middle.
In the middle, right in the middle, yeah. And man, I tell you what, I'm back to caffeine, dude. It's gonna ruin me. I guess I'll live a
coffee.
short but happy life.
Just do iced tea or something. Well,
Yeah.
here's something funny. My wife, so Chris, we normally don't drink soda, and she's been so stressed because of the cats and everything that we've been drinking Coke every day for like 8-9 days now. And I laughed and said, we're not up to Nathan's level, but I feel like we're breaking all the rules right now because we're drinking like. I think we've been going through a liter every 2 days, like a liter and a half or whatever every 2 days. So we're drinking a few glasses a day, which is way more than we used to. And it's literally that's how she copes with stress is like Coca-Cola. It's like
Makes sense. It makes sense.
I'll have a little devil's herb, a little bit of tequila, and she's like, nope, I want my Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola's good, man. They nailed it. I gotta say, they nailed it. I'm not saying I can't drink Pepsi. I'm not saying I wouldn't drink that. But I am saying that Coca-Cola formula is freaking magical for some reason. I think I'm more addicted to Coke than nicotine. Because, I mean, you want to talk about, dude, no energy when I quit drinking. I mean, I was just drained And it was just like any other addiction where your brain is like, hey, I got a great idea. And you're like, oh, what's the great idea? It's like, go drink a Coke. Like true addiction, dude.
I think for me, when I quit smoking cigarettes, it was not very difficult because I had congestive lung failure when I was 22, so it broke the habit real quick because my doctor was
You
like,
had what? Yeah.
oh, I might have pushed up. I had congestive lung failure when I was 22, so
Oh, jeez.
and it was somewhat because of the cigarettes, but think about this for a minute. I grew up in construction in ceramic tile and natural stone, so I can remember getting down on the floor with an 8-inch cup wheel grinder and like grinding humps out of a concrete slab, and you're just sucking down all that concrete dust. And on top of that, I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and the devil's herb and other stuff. And so there's a point where you're just coating your lungs with tar and concrete. And when I was 22, it all caught up with me, and it was not hard to quit. But what was hard was in the years that followed. That was 2002, and up until 2010, 11, I was still having cravings, and and it took me about 6 years before I would ever smoke again. But I still would occasionally smoke cigarettes casually with friends and stuff, up until about 2011, and that was around the time where just one day I had one with a friend and was like, nope, I don't want them anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
I haven't had a
Yep.
craving since,
That's
but
a nasty habit.
oh, and I chewed tobacco for a while too in between there, because that's a nasty
I tried
habit.
that, but I guess I just didn't realize, because I was trying to quit smoking. I was trying everything just to not smoke, just to save my lungs. And I tried chewing tobacco, and it is legitimately exactly as advertised. You were chewing on leaves, and I was like, you know what, this is weird. I can't do this one.
Well, did you do leaf tobacco or snuff? I mean,
Yeah, it was leaf tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah. Leaf tobacco it's rough because you get so much juice out of it. It's like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's just nasty. It's
And
delicious, but
when I was a kid, I remember like being around people who did it, and they would like spit every once in a while. Dude, I'd just be sitting there like, like basically vomiting it up.
That's because
Like, this is outrageous.
leaf tobacco, dude, it makes you gush. Whereas if you're doing snuff, like Copenhagen or something, that doesn't make you spit as much, and that's what people might have been chewing that you remember is just like snuff tobacco. That's the fine cut.
Right.
That doesn't make you gush, but leaf tobacco is like it's coming out of you everywhere.
Yeah, dude. I'm not mature enough for any of that. I'm just gonna be honest. I would spit and forget about it and leave it laying somewhere, and it would get knocked over.
Yep.
I'm just not responsible enough to did or any of
Well,
that.
even if you are, here's the thing: my uncle to this day still chews tobacco, and my aunt. They have constant battles because he leaves his spit cups on like the windowsill behind the couch, and then a dog will get up there when they're in the middle of watching a movie, and it'll just go all over the place, down the wall, on the couch,
so
gross.
Great.
6 more is all we need here.
All right, we almost got it.
About the time we wrap this up and get your mob, that'll probably be the time we're getting to 4 o'clock.
Hey, we got another quest done.
Let's see here. I got something I need to update. So I'm for. Oh, there's Drown Trooper right there. Plug a red man, indeed, GNL. Caffeine is a terrible habit to break. It can be. I don't know why it is. I don't get the headaches that a lot of people talk about when they try to stop drinking coffee. Whereas Chris, if Chris doesn't get her cup of coffee, I can't. You just leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Yeah. Just don't want to be around Chris if she's not had her coffee. If she has to go like 12 hours without a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I was getting pretty grouchy too.
her cutoff's about 12 hours. If she has to go more than 12 hours, just leave her alone. Let her get some coffee in her. Oh, Maduros, that's wrong. So I got a Maduros story to tell you that he's put in chat. He had a friend who was using a Gatorade bottle for his spit cup. Set it next to a Gatorade that was the actual drink. Mixed up the two and got a big old swallow of his spitooey. So that's enough to make him never ever want to chew tobacco.
I did it too. It was in a Coke bottle actually. It was a horrible. Do not use a Coke bottle. And I was playing a game, playing MMO, and I just reached over and grabbed it and took a big old hearty, hadn't drank
Swig.
for a while, and grabbed it just ready to guzzle some Coke down. Oh, that was so gross, dude.
It's all viscous.
I've done it with cigarettes too.
Ew, you putting your butts out in the
cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but there was a drink that I was dropping the butts down, and I took a big old swig of butt water.
Oh man.
It sounds just as bad as it is too. It was awful.
Oh, you're bringing back memories. Oh.
We had a chair when I was like just out of high school, and I got a room, or we rented a house with just a crap ton of people. It was a big party house. It was just the wildest. It was almost like I want to say it was almost like an event house. We had like specific
Pipe
parties,
tobacco
like,
is
we had,
really
like,
good.
pirate
Switch.
parties. Everybody does,
Really,
like,
really
parties,
good stuff.
Pirates, and we
Yes, we can
fought
all
with,
thank Tolkien for that because
with
I also
foam
smoked a
swords and
pipe.
had all these
Or used
competitions.
to
It was just this big
because of
party
Tolkien.
house. And we had this couch, and everybody in the house smoked. So it was like in the house. So it was just a smoky cloud of, fog 24/7. And we had this recliner. We're idiots. We just got out of high school. We're complete morons. And we thought it would be a great idea to carve out on the arm of this chair an ashtray.
No.
So we did, and we used it for way longer than that should have worked. But one day, everybody was super, intoxicated, and the whole thing caught on fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was waiting for that to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it took a long time though, and then we had to drag it outside and hose it down. Thankfully, it didn't just burst into flames, but it was on fire, and it took way too long for people to notice too, because the house was already filled with smoke 24/7. Because and there was 8 people who lived there, but there was probably almost never a time that there wasn't at least 20 people in the house. But yeah. That is a good way to live, though, for a young person. I gotta say, get you a bunch of people and just rent a house. And
I also think it's legitimately I would totally do it. Even now as an adult, if it was a streamer house,
yeah.
Right group of people. The hard part though is when you get older, everybody's got wives and husbands and kids. And...
Yeah. Well, we had laws in our house, and I think that's what kept that, because we lived there for like probably 4 or 5 years, and we hardly had any drama. We would have meetings once a week because it was just so crazy. We had to keep things under control because people come in, they try to eat all our food or whatever. It was just the door was open. There's people walking in and out 24/7. So we had meetings once a week. It was like the most responsible situation. Pretty weird, but we had rules and laws that like if you broke them, you had to leave, and
That's
you weren't allowed
fair.
to come back.
That's totally fair.
And we were stupid. We had some dumb rules in there too.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to how the house that I lived in with my buddies when I wrote, where I was when I created the Saga Leucemia D&D campaign. We were all late teens, early 20s, and we legitimately we were the nightmare kids that no landlord wants to rent to.
Oh yeah.
Because we all smoked various things, and I think the worst was it had those ceiling tiles, the soft ceiling tiles. They're
yeah.
a
You can break them in half with your bare
fiberglass
hand.
type. Yeah. And we all went out and got real swords and would have sword fights in the house with real
with the real
swords.
swords.
And the roof just got completely destroyed, by us, you know, parrying a blow, and your sword would go up and puncture the roof or the ceiling, you know, or whatever. And then like we full on had a
my
party
God.
one time, and kids went up on the rooftop of the house and like fell through the balcony rooftop and broke through the ceiling. And yeah, the landlord was not happy with us. We legitimately caused a few $100s worth of damage for sure.
We caused some issues at that house too. Like towards the end, I remember there was a water leak. We were all so drunk all the time, to be honest, that we were just like, oh well, we'll put a little blockade here so the water doesn't get into the main part of the house.
Oh, vanilla and cherry pipe tobacco,
It
yes.
caved in, and the washing machine, the dryer, like fell through the floor.
Oh wow.
And then we were like, okay, gotta go. I don't know how that guy didn't sue the living snot out of us. We'd spray painted the walls, man. I mean, it was a disaster.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to that house. I'm just waiting on mana here, by the way.
Right.
We told it was definitely more than a few $100s worth of damage. And the worst part about it was the guy knew my uncle, and so
did he come after you guys?
No, but I remember my uncle got really pissed when I was no longer living there, because I basically got to the point where just for personal reasons, there was some stuff that went down at the house that I did not agree with and didn't want to be a party to any longer, so I made the decision to leave. But I was 50% of the name on the lease, and I literally just wrote the landlord a letter and said, you know, I don't want to be on the lease anymore because there's stuff going on in the house that I don't want to be a part of, so please remove my name from the lease. Good luck. And that's what I did. I literally was a 20-year-old kid or something, and I was just like, I don't care. I'm out. And my uncle called and was just livid because he got a phone call from the guy, and I got a lecture about abandoning responsibilities, and which is legit. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
But you're 20.
Yeah.
You know, at the same time, like for a 20-year-old, that's fairly responsible, I think. You know,
I was like,
like, I gotta get out of this. This is bad.
There's 6 dudes living here. They can pay the rent and handle all the stuff, but I don't want to be a part of this. I'm out.
When we were talking about the stories of the spit and everything, Sparrow said I have a very vivid imagination and a weak stomach.
Yes, that's not. Ugh.
Yeah, I can relive things, you know, as we're talking. I like relive it. Like I can taste it in my mouth again. Still, though, the worst thing I ever did was not that. The worst thing I ever put in my mouth, that sounds way worse than the story's gonna be, was, we used to play, is that those pirate parties I was talking about earlier? We used to play, King's Cup, which is where normally you take your drink and you pour it in the cup in the middle every time somebody lays down a king.
Yeah.
And then whoever lays down the last king, I believe is the way it goes, has to drink the whole cup. Except for we played it what we called the Pirate Edition, was where you put the drink in your mouth, swished it around for 30 seconds, and spit it in the cup.
Ew.
And I lost that game one time. Oh, it was bad. And
That's
I remember
nasty.
after drinking it, I was, and we've been drinking too, you know, so obviously. So I remember I got it, and I was fine. There's actually a picture. Actually, that picture's technically in the new Cringe Pony show, coincidentally. But anyway, after I drank it, I was okay. I had my mind at ease, and then somebody said, "Dude, you look like you're gonna barf," and I was like, I was fine until they gave me the option. Oh, that was nasty.
Do we have an ad or something? No. I just want to go up here and take a look at what's down there. There was I think we go back the other way. When I was younger, I got into I was 17 and I was living on my own, and I lived right downstairs. My next door neighbors were some gangbangers, and they were good people, but you know, kids being kids, and
Yeah.
they used to have drinking parties all the time, and I remember I got in this drinking contest with this big Mexican girl, you know, borderline. I don't know if she would be called a girl by today's standards. She was big, and it was a vodka shot drinking contest, and I lost, and I'll never forget because it was the one and only time I ever passed out at a party and learned the number one rule of don't pass out at a party, because thank God it was before social media. But I remember we got up to like past the 15 mark, and I remember I was smoking a cigarette. I remember leaning forward to put out my cigarette on the coffee table, and that was the last thing I remember. And they said that I literally just kept going and face planted in the carpet. I woke up butt naked. My clothing was folded into a nice pile next to me. Like they had taken the time to strip me and fold my clothing, and I was covered head to toe in Sharpie drawings, head to toe,
Oh man.
front and back, and it was just like I learned the number one rule of being a teenager: do not pass out at a party.
It's funny how when you're younger, that was like the goal, or at least for me, when I was really young, like the goal was to drink until you don't remember. Like as an adult, like there's no way I would
No,
let that happen. You know, you know. It's funny how when you're a kid, that was like the goal though. Back when I was young, like that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. By the way, kids, we're not promoting
No, it's a horrible, stupid. We're telling
reminiscing
the
so that you can not do don't make the mistakes we made. That's the way to look at that.
As I used to think that the word meant you can live vicariously through us.
Yes.
I used to think that word meant the same as vicariously. I used it for like 27 years of my life before somebody finally corrected me that is not what that word means. How many more do you have left?
This is the last one.
All right.
Then we're off to get your named in Antonica.
Hey, they were good XP though.
We got a level and a half, almost. I think right around a level and a half. Actually, I think we got 2 levels. I'm not really paying attention. That's when you know you're having fun. You don't really pay attention.
That's the real MMO experience. And yeah, actually, Sparrow says I wouldn't even let my kids sip out of my cup. I don't even drink after people ever. Like I only did that because that was the rules, and everyone else had to do it, so I couldn't. You know, I had to do it too. But like, no, I don't drink after my wife. Like I do not drink after people. I don't. I understand bacteria, etc. No thanks.
I don't think we can get back through the gates. We're gonna have to run down because it's nighttime and they close it. We're gonna have to just run. Gosh darn it! There we go.
What is it?
We're gonna Leroy Jenkins down this canyon. That's what we're gonna do.
All right. Much easier to do in EQ2 than EQ1.
Theoretically.
No, 22. Level 22. Did you ding 23 though, didn't you, Rentho?
No, I'm behind you a little bit. I did ding 21, but I'm only about a third of the way through. You're probably 3/4 of the way through or so.
Yeah, I'm almost at 23.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you're about you're about 3/4 of a level ahead of me. All right, now you need the named guy in Antonica.
Yeah, it said it was up near the
One of the Black Road
further-
entrances.
Yeah. There are giants out here in Thundering Steppes, yep.
Yep. You actually have to. It's like the best place to go get the speak as a giant language.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a better place, guys. The
Where?
mobs, the giants are only 2 up instead of 3 up. Sorry, let me turn my combat down. They're in Nectlos Forest. They are Nightfall giants. They're much easier to kill, and they actually drop your speak idols quicker.
Okay. All right, let's check this out.
Yeah. What was the name again?
Grolven, Grolven.
I see him.
Chiptooth. You do
Yep,
see him?
yep.
Okay.
Not too far from here, actually. Assuming he's up. If not, we'll try the other instance.
Have you been having a really smooth experience so far?
On 64-bit?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not seeing a difference. Like I never had issues on the other client, so.
I kind of didn't, but sometimes I would. Not often enough to even complain about, but I've noticed nothing. Not a single misframe.
Yeah, it's been smooth as silk today.
What was the dungeon we were talking about the other day that's from this gamer info where it's that one where there's all kinds of secret passageways? It's like a level 20-ish dungeon.
There's
You gotta, like-
Varsoons, there's Necklace Castle.
That's it. Yeah, that's such a good.
I hate
such
that
a good
place.
load-
I hate it.
Oh, really?
I hate it. Here's why. I've
so
had to
much
go
fun.
in there. I bet I've gone in there 50, 60 times over the years to do heritage quests, and I just, it's one of the few places I really. It's kind of like for me, that's like my lower guck. I try really hard not to go there unless I absolutely have to for,
Okay. Well, that's
to really help
understandable.
someone out.
I've only been like twice.
Oh no, I played this game for like 7 years nonstop, and we did a lot of heritage quests for people over the years.
Yeah.
I actually finished 2 of those today.
Oh, nice, great.
Nice. All right, so he's around here somewhere if he's up.
Oh, there he is. He's a gray.
I'll be damned. There you go, sir.
Not even heroic.
Poor little Noel out here on a picnic, rolled up on.
Well, he did steal this guy's great-grandmother's spell book.
There you
so.
go. All right. You need anything else, or is that it?
I'm done. Yep.
All right.
That was it for me. What do you need? Anything
Nothing.
else?
We're done. So fly back to the tower over here. And from here, I'm going to go record an audiobook chapter of Echoes of the Past for my YouTube members. And then
Nice.
I'm going to watch the last 2 episodes of the first part of season 4 of Stranger Things with Chris. We got episodes 5 and
Heck
6. Or no, excuse me, 6 and 7
Nice.
to do tonight.
Yeah, they're good. Those are 2 really, really, really
I heard
good
the
episodes.
finale is like 2 hours long too, which I
Yeah,
can't.
it is. It's an hour and 40 minutes.
I
Yep.
don't get why people complain about length because the longer it is, because that's the one thing I dislike about the Disney Plus shows, is that some of like the Boba Fett or Bando shows are like 30 minutes, 25 minutes long. It's like I want I want 55 minutes out of my shows. Like I want a chunk. And Stranger Things has been like an hour and 15 minutes for most of the episodes so far, and then I heard the finale was 2+, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want
And it's
content.
good. It's like, dude, it feels like 30 minutes because it's just packed with content. Like, they didn't
Awesome.
stretch it out. They didn't, it didn't feel like it was like an obligation. Like, it needed that much time. You know what I mean?
Nice.
They don't waste a second in these last 2 episodes. Every scene is freaking good. Gosh,
Can't
I love
wait.
that. This season of that show's been so good. Just so nerdy. There's just so much goodness. So much.
Well, they got one more season to go, I think is what the plan is. Season 5 is going to be the last.
Now, they did make a mistake. I did find a mistake. They accidentally, in one scene, had classic, today's classic Coca-Cola, which did not exist at that time.
Ah.
It would have just been Coca-Cola back then. It says Coca-Cola Classic. But I'm being ridiculous. They've done a really good job of replicating the 80s, I think, throughout the whole show, the whole series.
Some stuff was definitely outside of the realm of my childhood because I didn't grow up in California, I grew up in Missouri,
Yeah.
Where we weren't as technologically hip as the Californians. But, it's nice to recognize all the things we saw from like Back to the Future, and, it's definitely replicating the era if you lived in an affluent American city.
Yeah.
South Kinos for me. Do you got any more Cringe Pony stuff to work on today?
Yeah, I've got to do my 3 bonus, which I've already got the scripts for,
All
so, but that's it.
Well, when we wrap
Get the
up
3
here,
bonus.
okay. I'll ping. I got a couple things I want to run by you real quick.
Okay.
Any other adjustments, just let me know, okay, dear?
Man, these are nice items from these.
Yeah, they are.
So nice to see you again, dear. Would you be able to help an old druid out again?
I could
I've
definitely
been
help you,
working on
old
the
lady.
adjustments for the Well, it seems
Oh, back to the Thundering Steps for the next part, which will be next week. All right, I'm gonna wrap up my stream here, Nathan.
All right, man.
I'll be
talk to you
I'll be
later.
silent for a moment. I'll stay on the channel, and then just be back in a second.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gents, thanks for following along, everybody. Good times today, doing some relaxing EverQuest stuff. We'll do some more EQ2 next week, but tomorrow morning, EverQuest 1,
He's come back.
TLP. We'll be doing TLP tomorrow, and then that's it for tomorrow. No more streams for the rest of the week, but we'll be streaming D&D tomorrow night. Don't forget, stay tuned in Discord. And next week, normal schedule. I'll be streaming World of Warcraft, probably some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles during the daytime hours next week, and then at night times we've got TLP Mondays, Wednesdays, Lotra on Tuesday, World of Warcraft on Thursday. This upcoming Friday night, no P99 because Sparrow and Bounty have got some real life friends coming in at a time, so we're gonna do a Plane of Hate raid in EverQuest TLP Yellowneck. So stick around for all that stuff. Thanks everybody for your support. Don't forget you can always super chat and sticker push us towards the July full-time goal of $750. I appreciate everyone joining as a member of the Adventurers Guild. I'll see everybody in Discord and our next episode. Stay safe, everyone.